Good evening. Welcome to the City of Warren Planning Commission. It's February 23rd. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ansar,
Present.
Commissioner Halawadi,
Present.
Commissioner Hawk,
Present.
Commissioner Duze,
Present.
Commissioner Maurice present, Commissioner Benecki,
Present.
Commissioner Smith.
Present. Item number 4, approval of the agenda.
Chair, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Support Maury.
There's a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Maury. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Approval of the minutes of February 9th, 2026.
Motion to approve Maury.
Support Benecki.
There's a motion by Commissioner Maury, supported by Commissioner Benecki. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing items. Item number 6A.
Item number 6A, site plan for the addition of a minor repair facility and a storage of inventory and supplies for an existing gas station located on the northwest corner of Hoover and 9 Mile Roads, 23011 Hoover Road, Section 27, Abbas Harajli, 9 Mile and Hoover Property LLC, PSP 250045. This was postponed from December 1st, 2025 and January 26, 2026. Thank you.
Is petitioner here? Can you come up, sir? State your name and address for the record and tell us a little bit about your project.
Good evening, Abbas Harajli. My project is a gas station. I'm building, I would like to build a 3-bay garage servicing vehicles, service repair. And I've been here before, and we met with Ron and went over some details, and the last thing we went over, I guess, hopefully we agreed on everything, and we're here to finalize it. Hopefully you see it's a good project.
Thank you, sir. Correspondence?
Correspondence, taxes, current engineering. Preliminary review of this site indicates no difficulty in development. Fire, in response to the traffic letter for site plan PSP 250045, the fire department doesn't see any issues that may affect our operation. AT&T does not object to this proposal. We do have facilities in the vicinity. Please advise the petitioner to contact me if any conflicts are discovered. Comcast, in response to your utility request for the above project, please refer to the attached map for the location of Comcast, CATV, and fiber facilities that are in the area. Aerial cables are highlighted in orange for fiber and yellow for coax cable. Underground is highlighted in blue for fiber and green for coax cable. If we can be of further assistance, please feel free to contact us by email at cccutilityrequest@teamsigma.com. DTE. DTE Electric Company has received and reviewed the site plan for addition of a minor repair facility and storage of inventory and supplies for existing gas station. DTE Electric Company objects to the site plan for the addition of a minor repair facility and storage of inventory and supplies for existing gas station impacting 23011 Hoover Road, Section 27, per the site plan provided, for the reason: the proposed building will be within 3 feet of the existing transformers that currently feeds the existing building. The proposed needs to be at least 7.5 feet away from the energized equipment. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me at 586-783-1978. MCPWO. The Macomb County Public Works Office has reviewed the site plan for the project referenced above and has determined the proposed site disturbance is less than 1 acre and will not require a stormwater review from this office. If a no objection letter is required, please forward your request to wesley.jonick@macombgov.org. Thank you.
Thanks, Madam Secretary. Planning Department's recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The
excuse me, the recommendation is as follows. It is recommended that the site plan for the addition of a minor repair facility and storage of inventory and supplies for an existing gas station be approved with the standard conditions of the Planning Commission, and more specifically. Number one, 5 copies of revised site plans must be submitted, indicating the following. A, the site property area in the project information chart shall be changed to 26,251.6 square feet. 1B, update the M1 Light Industrial District zoning requirements, and that is the front setback is 8 feet along 9 Mile Road, and the maximum building height is 30 feet or 2 stories. 1C, a new overhead service, the new overhead service doors and access doors shall be indicated and labeled on the plan. 1D, the 3 parallel parking spaces along the north property line shall be changed to 12, all of them a 12-foot width. 1E, the 1 parallel parking space along the east elevation of the building shall be changed to a 10-foot width. 1F, update the site plan to read 1 accessible parking space instead of handicap. 1G, indicate the type of trees and shrubs proposed for this area. Refer to the site plan application for the recommended species. Condition number 2, 2 copies of revised elevation plans shall be submitted indicating the following, and that is the floor plan and elevation plan are not consistent regarding the new east elevation. The service doors shall be widened from 6 feet to 9 feet. The access door shall be removed at the north end of the elevation plan. And finally, condition number 3, a performance bond in the amount of $3,000 be posted according to the estimated cost of $100,000 by the petitioner. So with that, Mr. Chair, the recommendation is submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Worth. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to come speak on this item, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Hello, my name is Alex Ukai. Right here is Nick Didivone. The owner of the property of 11549 9 Mile Road, East 9 Mile Road. The property was shut down for a while. There was a restaurant there, and we recently, the past year, decided to go in and open up that restaurant, that property. And with that being said, we are officially open since 2 weeks ago. There is an easement right on the right-hand side of where, I do apologize, we call him Ali, Mr. Al, wants to construct this building. The problem here is that we have that easement over there 20 feet, and we wanted to make it a drive-through. Now, for the longest, Mr. Al had agreed with Nick Didivone to allow that easement to be used as long as reimbursement on taxes were done, which Mr. Ali has not done in the last, I believe, I would say 19 years, maybe give or take more. And what we wanted to do was obviously make a drive-through there. With Mr. Ali proceeding in wanting to do this, this not only inhibits us or creates a problem in the sense where that building is essentially tall, blocking the view from Entryport or the view of people driving down 9 Mile Road in Hoover. I do apologize. We feel like with the communication with him and us has been sincere thus far. No problems have arisen. But in the end of the day, there will be an issue, I do believe, with what we wanted to do. We did go over with, I believe, Ron and his staff in engineering into proceeding with this. We want to make sure that we're able to essentially do what we want to do, also not inhibit him as well. We understand that business is business at the end of the day, but the way that he is going about things, unfortunately, seems a little bit, not necessarily nefarious, but definitely not as transparent. He obviously was going to use, unfortunately, the easement that we had until we came to the meeting and opposed that. He brought some paperwork stating that that was his in the sense of lease to agreement, but obviously he didn't follow with that lease agreement, taking consideration that no payment was made after the first to third year on that agreement. I believe Mr. Al, as we call him, I do apologize.
Your
for
time
the
is almost up, sir.
I appreciate it. Mispronunciation. Assumed that that land wasn't going to be used since it's been vacant for the last 10 to 15 years. And then as soon as we started in there, I feel like he may have thought that, hey, this is my time to do something before time's up, where they utilize it in that sense. And again, I do apologize. That is just what we're speculating at this point and are open to solutions.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to speak on this item?
Yes, I would like to speak. My name is Nicola Dedivanai. If you guys give him permission to build what he wants, I would prefer them to put a routine wall all way around my property. Also to remove electricity pole that's belonging my property, and also to build 6 feet from my land, then I don't think I'm gonna have any problem.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything to say? Seeing none, we'll turn it over to the commission.
Chair, I make a motion to approve with discussion.
Support Benecchi.
Has a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Benecki. Discussion.
Can the petitioner please step forward, please? I have a few questions. Thank you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, I live right around the corner from there, so I'm familiar with your gas station. What do you, I always thought at one time, I noticed that you have propane storage tanks. Are you still doing propane refills there?
No, currently we're not doing it.
Yeah, because I actually went down to refill my barbecue, and they said, no, we're not doing it anymore.
Yeah,
So,
we're
so
doing
is
it.
there something you could do to help your neighbor eliminate that storage tank to help him maybe with his easement?
No, I don't think he's referring to that side of the
Okay,
property.
I may be mistaken, I
It's the-
apologize.
It's the opposite side.
Okay,
Yeah, there was a lot of speculation. I don't want to waste the board's time on
Right,
that.
well, we're here-
There's
that's why we're here to clear
misunderstanding
things up.
But the thing is, they agreed, before it was vacant, and like 30 years ago, they allowed me to use it. and
well,
got-
new owner
Yeah. No, it's the same owner.
of
They-
the restaurant?
Yeah. Yes, the same owner, same owner.
Oh, because that restaurant was closed for a long time.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe the people operating is new. I think it's son-in-law, but the owner he was the last person that spoke here. But they allowed me to use it at the time, and actually, I didn't need it. There was no ill intention on my part. My project, I could make it work with it or without it. And then when they brought to my attention that they're not, they really don't want me to use it anymore, I was fine. I redesigned it without using that piece of land. And their main issue, I think, is they're trying to get a driveway in there. So if you
Right.
look at it, I mean, that's like separate from my petition. They're trying to get a driveway, and I don't think it's related to my situation. I hope you give them a driveway, there's nothing I
Okay.
can add to it. Telephone pole, there's a misunderstanding. The telephone poles, it's actually in my property. The survey was done, and so, yeah, so, but the propane, it's, yeah, opposite side.
Okay.
It's,
Okay,
it's not really-
and what type of repair are you gonna be doing?
it's gonna be minor,
When you
oil
say
change.
minor, oil changes
Yeah.
only, or,
Yeah, like oil change, brakes, and, tire.
so will you be keeping cars
No,
overnight there?
that's not the plan. Nothing major that requires,
no-
overnight
No,
of vehicles.
nothing major, no, like major brake jobs where they need to store the cars overnight?
Well, no, the plan is, and I think that's what the zoning is, we're shooting for same day. But no plans to have vehicles overnight. And if so, I didn't think about it, but you can leave the vehicle inside the building if there's.
You won't be keeping, like, because I see a few other auto
Storage.
repairers where they keep the cars 2, 3, 4 days at a time.
Yeah.
Stored on the lot.
Yeah, well, usually, those are major repairs, usually engine, transmission.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
they
will you be
usually
doing
don't-
that?
Yeah, and there's not gonna be any of that.
Okay. Okay, Chair, I yield the floor.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to speak on this item?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
if I can. Your neighbor wants to put a driveway into that 20-foot area. I don't know how you're going to do that, since you have your driveway onto Hoover. You have two driveways onto Hoover, and then the other driveway that's north of you, I can't see how you're gonna put a driveway into the 20-foot easement.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is his petition, if he's filing for a petition, I'm not sure. That's totally separate from my project.
Well,
My project is not using that.
I understand that,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm bringing up to somebody's, point that I don't think you can put a driveway in there off of Hoover, because he's got a driveway, the guy north of you has got a driveway, and there's just not enough room there for another driveway. Ron? I know this isn't part of the site plan, but if they're planning on it, is it possible to put another driveway in there?
Okay, it's 20 feet wide, you can have a 20-foot wide maneuvering lane, okay? And, but where the driveway enters Hoover, you're gonna have to have at least minimum 20-foot radiuses. You're gonna have to have two radii encroachment agreements to get permission to put those radii in there. If they get those, they can have one.
You think he'll work? Because I'm looking at it, and I understand what you're saying about the radii, but
Well, it's almost like the north driveway that exists, and so let's just say the new driveway, it almost looked like it turned into a boulevard
yeah,
type of thing, but, you know, actually, it's a thought process. They've thought about doing this, and until they speak to the engineering division about actually doing it, no one will know. And they're the ones who will, I think, make the last decision, but the way I described it, I make it possible.
fair enough. All right, because if it comes back to us, and if all of this works, I don't know if we could pass it, but we'll see on the drawings. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to speak on this item? To the petitioner, can you come up, please? Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
The reason this was brought back to us is because that piece of property that you were using or were going to use belongs to the other petitioner, the other resident.
Yes,
So therefore, you went in and you had everything revised to where you
Correct.
eliminated that off your property, and you're gonna close it off with a fence or something like that. So it will isolate that from your property, so you won't be able to park over there or anything anyway.
No.
Okay? So you've done, basically, all you're just trying to do is keep everything on your property to where you're not bothering his property.
Right.
And you've revised the drawings to do that. So as far as I can see for now, I can understand if they want to put another driveway in, but like Ron said, that's going to have to deal with other things other than just opening it up. But as far as you're concerned, it wouldn't be a problem because your property's not going to be there anymore.
Correct.
Okay. That was a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Benecki. Roll call.
Commissioner Halawadi?
Yes.
Commissioner Benecki?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Ansar?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Hawk?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Duzey?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Mori votes yes. Commissioner Smith?
Yes to approve. Good luck with your project, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item number 6B. Before we go to 6B, I'd like to recognize our ex officio, Councilman Noonan. Good evening, sir. And I don't know if Councilwoman McGee's here or not, but I don't see her. Okay. Item number 6B.
Item number 6B, site plan for a gas station with convenience store located on the northeast corner of Mount and 13 Mile Roads, 31104 Mount Road, Section 4, Michael Wiegand and Gazebo Real Estate, Josh Breton, and Agree Convenience Number 1 LLC, PSP 250050, postponed from December 15, 2025, January 12, 2026, January 26, 2026, and February 9, 2026. Thank you.
Thanks, Madam Secretary. Is petitioner here this evening? Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Josh Bratton, Agree Development, 30201 Woodward Avenue, Royal Oak, Michigan. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. We're hoping that this one will be the charm. But what I wanted to do is just go over the updates and changes from the last public hearing that we had that were all outlined in the executive summary that was circulated to the city. Afterwards, Cesso, our traffic engineer, can go over the updated traffic study results in more detail, and then Pat Lennon, our attorney, would also like to add some comments. If you go to the first slide, after that. So this site plan is an overlay of the old site plan. What's shown in red here is the changes. If you go to the next slide there, that's the revised site plan. So the main changes that we made on 13 Mile, we removed the left out. We moved that further north, and we made it so you can only exit the site on Mound Road. The reason we did that was because GM brought up some concerns about the line of sight when people are pulling out on 13 Mile. So we feel that resolved that issue. Also, what was brought up in the hearing in December was that the fuel truck needed to oversteer to the lane to its left in order to make the turn into Mound Road. We were able to make adjustments to those curbs to allow for that fuel truck to enter, as you can see the next slide, without veering into the other road. Now, Macomb County has approved the adjustment of those curbs. We are still waiting for Macomb County Department of Roads to respond to our last set of plans. So we are expecting that, if approved today, that would be conditioned upon approval from Macomb County Department of Roads. We'll go over the traffic study in more detail, but just a couple of important things to note. That traffic study did include updated counts that were taken on January 20th, 2006. We also added counts that were provided to us from GM from 2024 when their gate was open on 13 Mile, because they had a concern that the gate's currently closed for construction, and therefore they wanted to make sure the traffic report included and reflected those counts. So we took those counts, increased them by 1%, and included those into the study. The study's results still confirmed that the intersection will operate at a level of service B as in boy, which it currently operates now, and doesn't have any queuing issues, which Cecil will go over in more detail. In addition to that, we did have our traffic engineer respond in a letter to the letter that was provided by the neighbor's traffic engineer dated January 22nd, 2026, and added a clarification and addressed every one of their comments in this revised report. That was also circulated to the city with the executive summary. We held multiple calls with GM regarding their concerns. Per GM's suggestion, we had our traffic engineer, GM, and GM's traffic engineer, Kinley Horn, GM's team, and our team jump on a call that occurred on Friday, February 20th, to review the results of the updated traffic study. We did receive confirmation from GM in an email that was forwarded to the city that we sufficiently addressed GM and their traffic engineers' concerns that were specifically outlined in that email. As a reminder, it's not shown on any of the slides here, but we went over in December. We are putting a substantial amount of investment into the aesthetics here, including the landscaping. We're increasing the green space by 134%, increasing the tree count by 57%, and adding nearly 200 shrubs, as well as a shaded walkway, bench, garden area to the intersection. We've already far exceeded the landscaping requirements in the city ordinance, and we're more than happy to discuss anything that the city would like to see beyond what we have designed. Lastly, we feel that we sufficiently satisfied all the requirements of the ordinance for approval. We feel like the revised traffic study and site plan addressed any safety concerns that were voiced to us by the city or GM. I'll now have Robert Matko with CESO go over the traffic study in a little more detail.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good
Chairman,
evening.
Planning Commission members. Robert Matko, 13060 South US 27 in DeWitt, Michigan. I believe you'll hear later during public comment, I'm sure the adjacent parcel owner and potentially their traffic engineer may be here this evening. I won't get into the specific details of what we did in the report other than to address just some key items that were brought up. I think one was my registration, so I included in the response letter to show that I am an active professional engineer in the state of Michigan. I think also there were some comments about the ITE 11th edition versus the 12th edition. When the traffic impact study was initially done, the 12th edition was not out yet. But we went ahead and updated the revised traffic impact study to include the 12th edition. I think also the updated study does take into account not only GM's concerns, but also potential queuing concerns on 13 Mile Road by removing the right turn out. Not only that, it does push the access further east, providing adequate stopping sight distance, and it also provides additional queuing space on 13 Mile Road. So I think the updated site plan certainly accomplishes many things. Again, I'm not going to go through every key point. Again, if the adjacent parcel owners, has additional comments or questions, or you all have additional comments or questions on the traffic study, I can certainly address those. Or if their traffic engineer has concerns, again, I'm here to address those comments. I don't want to go through each comment other than to say, we feel we've satisfied, again, concerns, and we tried to address everything, that was out there in terms of initial concerns from the meeting of it was over a month ago at this point. So thank you for your time, and again, I'm here to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. My name is Pat Lennon. I'm an attorney with the Honigman firm. I represent the applicant, here to speak to some of the legal issues. Those are pretty simple and clear here. We discussed them. I believe the first meeting was on December 15th. We discussed them in detail on January 12th. We've supplemented the application with legal filings explaining how the project satisfies all of the legal requirements and is what's called a by right project, which means, as we've discussed, that if we meet the standards, it's legally entitled to an approval. In fact, it's section 5015 of the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act that says a site plan shall be approved if it contains the information required by the zoning ordinance. It's not just us that has presented that to you, it's also the planning staff and the team here. But we think the story gets better, because you may recall from the January 12th meeting, I think there was some confusion about what and why we were even being tabled. Well, there were some requests that came from that, and to the credit of the applicant, they've done everything in their power to address them. There was some concern about involving General Motors because they're a large neighbor with potentially a lot of traffic. Well, they've certainly done that. Second, there were requests regarding additional information in the traffic study. Well, not only did they supplement that, they did a whole new count on, I believe it was on January 20th. They also incorporated information provided to them from GM. So they've gone above and beyond in this regard. And based on what they learned, they made adjustments to their site plan. They've eliminated the left turn out onto 13 Mile and shrunk that down to a right turn out and shifted how Mound Road operates, and have pivoted to be sure we address concerns about truck traffic and deliveries. So we met the ordinance before, but now we're even beyond that. And I hope you'll take that into consideration as you deliberate tonight. And when you also, and as you do, and as you consider the fact that the planning staff has now recommended this for approval, I believe for the third time, I hope you'll remember that the real standard is there material and competent evidence that's been provided that shows that we don't meet a standard? Well, we're convinced that there isn't and that there can't be, because this applicant and their team have gone to such a level that we know the standards have been met. So, as we've stated before, and as is the case here, we meet the standards, and we would respectfully request that you approve this application.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Correspondence?
Correspondence, Texas Current Engineering. Preliminary review of this site indicates that Planning Commission approval should be contingent upon the petitioner's compliance with the following conditions. Number one, Macomb County Department of Roads approval and permit are required for work in Mount Roads right-of-way. Number two, on Mount Road right-of-way, Macomb County Department of Roads allow the maximum 30 feet back of curb to back of curb width for the proposed drive approach at the property line. Similarly, the City of Warren allows the maximum 30 feet back of curb to back of curb width on 13 Mile Road right-of-way. Number three, all the existing and proposed utilities within the vicinity of the project limits along with the material size should be shown. Comcast. In response to your utility request for the above project, please refer to the attached map for the location of Comcast CATV and fiber facilities. Aerial cables are highlighted in orange for fiber and yellow for coax cable. Underground is highlighted in blue for fiber and green for coax cable. If we can be of further assistance, please feel free to contact us by email at cccutilityrequest@teamsigma.com. MCDR. Macomb County Department of Roads has received and reviewed the enclosed preliminary plan for the above referenced site. MCDR has the following objection to the proposed development at the above mentioned site. Number one, MCDR allows only 30 feet back of curb to back of curb wide entrance approach in MCDR's road right-of-way. Verify and revise the Mount Road entrance. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at the phone number above, 586-463-8671. With that, I have 4 residents' letters that are attached that I'll go ahead and read.
Okay.
This was sent to the Planning Commission on January 23rd, 2026. The Planning Department received written correspondence from Jordan B. Siegel, attorney at Medin, Husner, Roth, and Heller, PC, an outside law firm not associated with the subject property or proposed site plan. This correspondence includes a review of the petitioner's traffic impact analysis conducted by Felis and Vanderbilt FNV at the request of Maiden, Husner, Roth, and Heller, PC. Also included in the correspondence is the attorney's interpretation of FNV's review of the traffic impact analysis with Maiden, Husner, Roth, and Heller PC, maintaining that the proposed Speedway gas station is unsafe and the original traffic study does not meet professional standard. The full correspondence from Maiden, Husner, Roth, and Heller PC has been submitted to the Planning Commission. There's another letter was sent on January 23rd, 2026. Hello, I also noticed the debate over a proposed gas station over the Gazebo Banquet Hall, 13 Mile Road and Mount Road intersection, northeast corner. Like most residents, I also oppose it. I understand and agree that we shouldn't penalize a property owner who wants to sell. A better solution to preserve lot value, so he should sell at a good price to a better use for the city. That would also bring more tax revenue to the administration and utilize the land to a better value per acre. Could be to change the zoning for that lot for the seller to allow a multifamily or a mixed-use development or mixed on the lot. A developer like the one behind Icon Park nearby in Sterling Heights and 14 Mile and Mount would fit better near the old village downtown near Beebe Road, the triangle between Mount Chicago and 13 Mile Road. Make those property nearby more valuable and the area more walkable. The owner could find another buyer for the same or better price, and the city residents should have more housing options, more housing supply when it is so expensive. I am wondering, could the city alternately initialize the rezoning of the parcel or add an overlay district in the area that residents gas pumps, adopt a form-based code for the form and design for potential buildings on the parcel instead of the building use that can encourage walkable ground floor activity, allow greater building height, expedite permitting in return of a better building for the city residents and neighborhood. I welcome the proposed temporary city memorandum on gas stations, but that is not a long-term solution. Allowing landowners to build gently more density along main corridors, Mile Road, Ryan, Van Dyke, Mount, etc., would bring different kind of development, apart from a strip mall with a vast empty, impeccable parking lot or a gas station and car wash. And those kind of developments would bring more tax revenue income for the city. Best regard, Paul Butak. And we have another letter that was sent on, don't have a date for this. Dear members of the Planning and Zoning Committee, the Kemp family has developed numerous properties in Warren over the last 40 years. We currently own a property located at 6123 East 13 Mile Road, which could be adversely affected by this development. Please vote no on this gas station and store. The site plan is unsafe because of traffic and access conflicts. It does not meet city ordinance and it doesn't fit the look and feel of our block. From a traffic perspective, the layout breaks in conflict at the curb cuts and along the frontage. Short, quick turns and quickening will push vehicles into travel lanes and create an avoidable crash exposure. That is a design problem that cannot be remediated with additional paperwork. Safety will get worse, not better. Gas station traffic patterns at conflict points, queues, and crash risks that our block should not be asked to absorb. Beyond safety, there is no economic need for another fueling station here. The corridor is already saturated. A new station would simply cannibalize existing sales, depress margins for long-standing operators, and add churn without creating net value or jobs. Approving redundant supply undermines corridor stability and does not advance the city's economic growth goals. There is also the redevelopment cost the city inherits if a gas station later closes. Once USTS and fuel infrastructure are installed, sites can carry contamination, vapor risk, and long-tail liabilities. Converting those properties back to productive use demands costly remediation and public incentives. Approving this use now risks turning a flexible corner into a future brownfield burden. Given the traffic hazard inherent in this layout and its conflict with city ordinance and neighborhood charter, the only appropriate outcome is to deny the application. We support projects that makes the corridor safe and better. This one does not. Please deny it. Thank you for your time. Mr. Thomas Kemp, Kemp Building and Development Corporation. And the final one is sent on without a date. Dear Commissioners and Planning Staff, as a resident who lives just a short distance from the proposed development at Mount and 13 Mile Roads, I am deeply concerned about the impact this project would have on the safety and quality of our neighborhood. I respectfully request the Commission deny this application. The current site layout introduces significant traffic hazard. The design creates multiple conflict points at the driveway and along the frontage, encouraging short notice turns, quick spill back into the roadway, and increased congestion. These conditions elevate the risk of crashes for everyone who use the corridor, drivers, pedestrians, and nearby residents. These are design flaws, not issues that can be resolved through additional studies or conditions added later. Furthermore, the type of traffic generated by a gas station would worsen these safety concerns. Frequent turning movements, constant in and out trips, and pump-related queuing add layers of conflict throughout the day and night. For those of us who live, work, and travel this stretch daily, these added risks are simply unacceptable. Beyond safety concerns, the proposal does not align with the city ordinance or with the established charter and intended appearance of our corridor. This area has a special look and feel that residents value, and the proposed development is incompatible with that vision. For those reasons, traffic safety, ordinance conflict, and neighborhood character, the only appropriate action is to reject this application. As residents, we welcome thoughtful investment that improves safety and enhances the corridor. Unfortunately, this proposal does not achieve those goals. Please deny the application. Thank you for your time and consideration. Chris, I am not able to read the last name. Chris, thank you.
Thanks, Madam Secretary. Planning Department's recommendation?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The recommendation, excuse me, is as follows. It is recommended that the site plan for a new Speedway gas station and convenience store with 6 dispenser auto canopy be approved with the standard conditions of the Planning Commission, and more specifically, number 1, 5 copies of revised site plans shall be submitted indicating the following, and that's A, the distances and bearings shall be provided along the perimeter of the parcel on the site plan. 1B, the property in question is 1.55 acres, a stormwater narrative explaining how the site will comply with the city's stormwater ordinance shall be required as the plan indicates the disturbance is over an acre. That's the whole site. 1C, the trash enclosure and the attached shed indicated on the site plan is larger than the typical trash area. The Planning Commission shall approve the modified trash enclosure and shed area measuring approximately 35.33 feet by 11.46 feet and containing approximately 406 square feet. Condition number 2, 2 copies of revised floor plans shall be provided indicating the following, and that's label the outdoor retail sales items west of the building, west side of the building, I should say. It appears that there may be additional outdoor retail sales locations on the floor plan than labeled on the site plan. The floor plan and the site plan sales areas shall match. Condition 3, 2 copies of revised lighting plans shall be provided indicating the following. There are areas along the property boundary where the proposed lighting is greater than 0.0. Update the shielding for the proposed light fixtures so that the lighting covers only the property and does not encroach upon abutting properties. Condition number 4, 2 copies of revised landscape plans shall be provided indicating the following. Burning bush is an invasive species and is on the green Macomb do not plant list. Instead of burning bush, some possible options are arrowwood viburnum, bush honeysuckle, sweetspire, or hydrangeas. Condition number 5, permits shall be required from the Macomb County Department of Roads for work in the Mound Road right-of-way. Permits shall be required from the City of Warren Engineering Division for the work in the 13-mile road right-of-way. Per MCDR's comment, the driveway cannot exceed 30 feet in width, that's back of curb to back of curb. In MCDR's road right-of-way, in their right-of-way, the petitioner shall contact MCDR to discuss the driveway width. Condition number 6, per the Planning Commission postponement, the petitioner was required to do the following, and that is to meet with the Macomb County Department of Roads and the city engineer to discuss driveway design and widths, and also the possibility of adding acceleration or deacceleration lanes to both driveways. The results of these meetings shall be provided to the planning department. And finally, condition number 7, a performance bond in the amount of $258,000 be posted according to the estimated cost of $8,600,000 by the petitioner. And there is a note, the planning staff recommends a reduction in the bond amount to $158,000. So with that, Mr. Chair, the recommendation is submitted, the recommendation is submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Worth. This is a public hearing. Anybody would like to come and speak on this, come state your name and address for the record. But we've already had public hearings on this, and we've got everything that was said in those public hearings on record. So if you have something new to add, please come up and state it. But if you don't have anything new to add, I please you let us continue with the meeting.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. My name is Julie Kroll. I'm with Fleece and Vandenbrink Engineering, located at 27725 Stansbury Boulevard, Suite 195, Farmington Hills, Michigan, where I am currently the Traffic Engineering Group Manager for Fleece and Vandenbrink. I have over 25 years of traffic engineering experience, and I conducted a review of the traffic impact analysis prepared by CESO Inc. For the proposed speedway, gas station, and 7-Eleven convenience store located at 31104 Mound Road in Warren, Michigan. The review included evaluation of the submitted TIA dated November 26, 2025, and a field review which I conducted on January 20th, 2026. In the review of the November 2025 TIA, I identified several critical deficiencies in the data collection methods, technical assumptions, modeling procedures, and compliance with MDOT standards and professional engineering requirements. I provided this information to the city and this commission in correspondence dated January 22nd, 2026. It's my understanding the applicant has now submitted a revised traffic study, which they recently discussed here just a few minutes ago. I have not had the opportunity to review that information as it was recently submitted. I hope the applicant was able to prepare a revised traffic study that addresses the key items that I noted in my January 22nd, 2026 review letter. During my field review, which was on January 20th, 2026, I did observe that the data collection was being performed in the field when I was out there. I would like to note that this was also the week of MLK Day. So there was businesses and schools that were closed on the 19th in observance of the holiday. In accordance with MDOT data collection guidelines, this is not a permitted week for doing data collection. I offer the following additional items that should be considered by the city as this project is reviewed. The site driveways as currently designed do not provide safe access for this property, although I do see that they did make some changes since the last site plan was submitted. The site access driveways on Mound and 13 Miles should consider right turn treatment, as the planning director mentioned here just a few minutes ago, as they are warranted per MDOT guidelines. A safety review should be performed to determine if there's an existing crash history at these driveways, and would provide valuable information for the site access considerations for this project.
Your time's almost up, ma'am.
Additionally, I would request that the City of Warren engage a third-party traffic consultant to review the traffic study that was recently submitted to the city as part of this project, and then obtain formal input from the Macomb County Department of Roads Traffic Division in their review of this traffic study. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak on this item? State your name and address, please.
Lloyd Brown, 31330 Mound Road. Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners, City Attorney, members of the public. I'm here not in opposition, but I'm here about public safety, and that's really what this is about at this point. This proposal may technically meet an ordinance language, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's safe. Mound Road is a racetrack, as I had mentioned previously. This site plan's not safe for the public. The changes, in my opinion, actually make it worse. It's an extremely dangerous intersection. Now we're being asked to add a 24-hour gas station, constant turns, movements, increased congestion. It doesn't reduce the risk. It actually multiplies it. My employees enter and exit our facility every day. Some are driving, some are walking. We're just a couple hundred feet away. This is not safe. The traffic study even raises more concerns. So, one's done on election day. Schools are closed, TACOM's closed, GM's closed. The previous one is referenced when there's a 2-week shutdown. Now the most recent one, not only is it done on Martin Luther King week, but it's done in the middle of a blizzard. So the Monday was Martin Luther King Day, and we all drove in it or tried to drive in it. It was absolutely a blizzard. That's not reflective of real world conditions on Mound Road. It's not reflective of a typical day. I don't know what's going on, but it just seems like it's misinformation and fake news. We've heard about tons of errors here in the traffic study. Safety decisions must be made on things that are accurate, not representations or things that potentially are optimistic. And I happen to know that one of the largest employers in the city is going to be bringing all their employees back on the 15th of April. So congestion's going to get worse. So it's about safety. And the responsible action here is to not approve. Because once this is built, it can't be undone. And I was on some email correspondence with GM, and the wording that I saw in the email was...
Your time's almost up, sir.
They're neutral. This site plan is not safe. I respectively ask that you deny the request.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Jordan Siegel. I'm an attorney with the firm of Maddenhauser, Roth & Heller. I'm here on behalf of Waltonin Engineering at 31330 Mound and other stakeholders along the 13-mile and Mound corridor. This site plan should be denied. The traffic pattern is unsafe. The curb cuts do not meet municipal or county standards, and the Commission cannot make the safety findings required by the Warren Zoning Ordinance Section 2216B or MCL 125-3501, 4 and 5. We've retained Julie Kroll, who you heard from, to conduct a peer-reviewed of the applicant's CESO traffic study. Her January 22nd, 2026 review identified 27 separate deficiencies in that study. Maybe they have corrected 3 or 4. They did not want to address them line by line because they can't. There's 27 of them. The traffic study, the new traffic study they conducted repeats these same errors over and over. They conducted a traffic count during a holiday. They conducted traffic counts during a blizzard. This skews the data dramatically and incorrectly shows no queuing where queuing will occur. The computer model presented by CESO used to predict delays and backups is riddled with errors. It does not reflect how the intersection actually operates. It does not reflect actual wait times, backup distances, and safety ratings that they presented to you significantly understate the real-world congestion and dangers drivers will face. They told you that no turn lanes are needed. Under the current state standards, Ms. Kroll found the opposite, that vehicle turnings into the site need a dedicated lane on Mound Road and a taper on 13 to avoid forcing through traffic to brake suddenly behind them, a rear-end crash risk that the applicant has simply ignored. No crash history has been conducted. The curve on 13 Mile blocks drivers' view of the driveway, and they never checked it. Warren City Zoning Ordinance 22B requires safe circulation, compliant access, and compatibility with adjacent uses. The record shows none of these things. A traffic study with 27 deficiencies, counts taken on a day when half the corridor was closed, and a computer model that does not reflect how the intersection actually works, along with missing turn lanes that put through traffic at risk. This is not a safe intersection that they are proposing. And
Your time's almost up, sir.
I want you to think about when you're deciding what you're going to do 6 months from now, 18 months from now, when this site is designed. When there's an accident and the people who were in that accident come to you and say, why did you allow this unsafe intersection when you had information in front of you that there would be a safety risk? You have to think about those people and what you're going to tell them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, Commissioners. I represent the owners of 31200 Mound Road, the adjacent north neighbors of this proposed development. We echo the sentiments of our fellow neighbors that we've heard the letters read and we've heard spoken today. We believe that this development has serious and irreparable will have serious and irreparable community impact. The safety of the community is at risk with this development. We believe that the commission and the city should prioritize the safety of its residents over building another gas station in the city of Warren. So we too ask that the application be denied. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Sir, did you give your name and address, please?
I did. Jason, thank you.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Michael Wiegand, 31104 Mound Road. The owner of the gazebo. As you can see, the people that I wish to sell to are a very professional organization, and this is our third time back before you, and I believe we keep answering all your questions as they come up. If they are not asking for anything but their business to be located there, why would you stop me from being able to sell my business? It's a free country. Can't I sell my business? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to speak on this issue? Seeing none, we'll turn it over to the commission. It's turned over to the commission now. The public comment is over now. Do you have something additional to say that wasn't said?
I think it's important just to address a couple things that were just brought up by the public.
Well, when we'll turn it over to the commission. We'll turn it over to the commission, we'll make a motion, and we'll have a discussion up here, and if we need to have you to bring up more information, then we'll talk to you at that time. Okay, thank you, sir. I need a motion.
Motion to approve, Benecki.
I support it.
There's a motion by Commissioner Benecki and supported by Commissioner Hawk. Discussion?
Mr. Chairman, if I can.
Go ahead.
I find this very interesting that after each time we've postponed something on this, the drawing has changed, the location of the driveways has changed, the driveway in off of Chicago Road, off of 13 Mile Road anyway, it's changed. I don't know what would happen if we postponed it again and what changes would come up at that point in time. We've been told that if it meets all the requirements, that we have to approve it and so on. Well, you can argue about something with health, safety, and welfare. And I don't think that that corner is safe. When I've come around on 13 Mile Road to either go straight or make a right onto Mound, it's kind of a blind corner. And that's been my focus from the first meeting we had on all this. They've put in a lot of time and effort into this, which I really do appreciate. They've changed it for the better, but it's still, I don't want to be a party of approving this and waiting for somebody to get killed on that intersection. I've seen people slamming on the brakes, sliding through, and so on. So I'm not for this by any stretch of the imagination. One of the points that's been brought up is that there is nothing that would go to Zoning Board of Appeals on it. Well, they've got a dinky little sign there, number 18, by the driveway on Mound. I imagine it's going to end up in front of ZBA for a bigger sign. I'd be surprised if they don't, but I'm trying to look into the future and see what they need to do. If there was something else that we could put into that it isn't lit up 24/7 and around that, and I don't like having that entrance off of 13 Mile Road. It scares the heck out of me, and I sincerely think that that intersection, once everything's lit up and built, is going to be the downfall or hurt. Somebody's going to get hurt very badly there. So I don't support it. I appreciate the work that's gone into it, but from the safety standpoint, I cannot vote for this or follow it up from there. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to speak on this item?
Chair,
Commissioner Holowati?
I am listening to Commissioner Ducey. I second his opinion, and I'm not against Mr. Wiegand selling his property. Believe me, I could feel for him, but this is a type of property that's going there. I feel there's a safety issue. You know, that's the one thing. You've heard a lot of comments tonight through the letters that our secretary read and from residents that are against it for safety issues. We have to also think of what's best for our residents at the same time. So again, I second Commissioner Ducey's opposition to this project. Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak on this item?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Go ahead.
If I may call up one of the petitioners to ask questions about the traffic study. There was a concern that was brought up when the second traffic study was done, with that being on the MLK Day. Can you just touch on that for a second?
So it wasn't done on MLK Day. She mentioned that it was done the day after, the week of, which we didn't feel affected traffic because businesses and schools were open on that day.
What about the snow that we had that week?
I just looked up the weather report, and it was described not as a blizzard, but as overcast skies with periods of light snow showers. So we didn't feel like it was a significant enough snowfall to prevent us from executing the study.
Okay, that's all, Mr.
Anyone else like to speak on this item?
And I believe my traffic engineer wanted to elaborate, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd
Go
like to go just one step further. We actually did obtain GM's count when the gate was open from 2024. We took that traffic, it was just slightly higher on 13 Mile Road. We took Mound Road traffic from our initial count, which was the worst case out of all. There were 5 different counts we compared it to. So we took GM's count on 13 Mile Road and increased that by a growth rate for 2 years to come to 2026. So we feel that the count is obviously overly conservative. So regardless of when it was taken, we ended up using GM's count and took that from 2024 to 2026 and grew that traffic. So really, we looked at the worst case. And going back to, I think, another comment, the right out onto 13 Mile Road would be removed, so there would be no exiting traffic onto 13 Mile Road. Just wanted to clarify that as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else have any questions?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with my colleague Meduze that safety is the first priority. At the same time, this is the second time we're collecting a traffic report, and this, that was also after the Martin Luther King Day, and weather was not good. So I think this data is not reflecting the actual traffic report. So if we consider everything, I think is not safe, and for the well-being of the city and for the neighborhood, I'm opposing this site plan. Thank you.
Anyone else like to just?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I would like to ask the petitioner, please come forward.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, how do you address the issue people brought up here? They sent a lot of letters, and people are attending, and they are complaining about the accidents. Like, they're considering the place is not as safe.
Mm-hmm. So I obviously there's a lot of commonality in the public letters. They all seem very, very similar, all addressing what they are just calling out as potential traffic hazards or safety issues. What we've done was hired a certified engineer to complete the report with the traffic counts as accurately as possible to confirm from a technical standpoint that there are no safety concerns here. 7-Eleven doesn't want to create safety hazards as a part of their brand in the community. We, again, spoke with GM, with their engineer on a call on Friday. They're not speaking out against this project as a result of that call. So we were.
GM said okay?
GMC is very particular on what's represented of them, which is why I specifically had an email from GM sent to the city so the city could see verbatim what the GM's response was, which they confirmed that the email below was accurate and sufficient. In that email, I was asking them to confirm whether or not we sufficiently alleviated their concerns with the revised traffic study and site plan. They responded in a confirmation email that was forwarded to the city.
And didn't they have their traffic engineer look at it as well?
They did. The call included Kimley Horn, which was
And
hired from
you
GM.
mentioned there is a no driveway on 13 Mile, right?
It's an access only, so I believe one of
People
the,
can exit from, on 13 Mile?
you can only exit on Mound Road now. So one of the concerns from GM, who obviously has a huge amount of interest in the safety of this intersection, was we don't want people pulling out on 13 Mile with that curve there. We're not comfortable with the line of vision. We took that into account and we agreed. So as a betterment to try to continue to address the concerns of the community, we eliminated that. So you can only turn into the site, you can only exit on Mound Road.
And that's kind of why I stood up. Because one of the things I wanted to emphasize is there was some criticism of some of the changes. The changes were to make the property safer. There have been comments about disinformation. There's no disinformation here. These are highly paid consultants. And not only them, they've had others look at it, as Josh mentioned. And with respect to that, we provided we provided a comment-by-comment response that's been submitted to the city with respect to every issue raised by these people who've been opposing the project since the first day. And I'd ask you to keep this in mind as you consider this. And I know some of you feel like you may have made up your mind, but remember this. We're the ones asking you to comply with your ordinance. The others are asking you not to. We are here to say this project complies, and we're asking for your approval. And we believe we provided the information that demonstrates that, and there simply isn't credible other information that doesn't. Thanks.
So did you guys meet all the requirements from the county and the cities?
You can address the county if you want.
So we're still waiting for approval from Macomb County Department of Roads on our last revision. But Robert can maybe speak to the specifics there.
Yeah, and one of the realities of reacting to new information, like when we get input, as we've done, is we did something here. We decided, for safety reasons, to adjust the maneuvering at the 13-mile entry. Now it's, no exit, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's a big change. So that's something that needs to be obviously looked at by everybody. And that's why we're willing to accept that as a condition of an approval, of course, because they still need to go through their process and be sure that that meets the required standards. No one's trying to dodge standards. We're exceeding them.
Yeah, we've had discussions with the county, and first of all, the county did not even require a traffic impact study, but we did have a discussion with them about a week or so ago. They were, acceptable on what we went through in terms of the revisions, why we restricted the right out, not only just due to, any sight distance concern, but basically too because of the queue length going in a westbound direction. There was certainly concern over that. So when we went back after the last meeting, we literally took to heart all the different comments that you all had, and we worked with GM. We worked with the adjacent property owner. We worked very diligently until we had something that was agreeable by GM, agreeable to what the county would accept, and we do feel we have addressed all of those comments. We feel we have addressed. So, and then I'd like to point out too, we did include an accident data section in the report. And at that site driveway we went as far back as 7 years, and there was only one accident at the site driveway over those 7 years. Granted, there'll be slightly more traffic, but again, with this type of development, there will again be a lot of pass-by traffic or traffic coming off of the existing street system. So I'd just like to note that again, this was an effort of well over a month to try and address your concerns, GM's concerns, and also the adjacent parcel owner's concerns. Thank you.
So you guys saying there is no exit on 13 Mile, right? Only just enter. They can enter
That's
from the.
correct. There's no exiting movement on the 13 Mile
But
road.
if someone is, accidentally make a left turn trying to exit on 13 Mile, that's the people concerned, because there is a very bad curve here. It's a triangle shape property, and is a huge amount of traffic all the time is there.
Yeah, and how the
And-
driveway is shaped, it's be extremely difficult to try and exit out onto 13 Mile Road, plus there'll be on-site signage, but if you look at the driveway, it's kind of angled a little bit, and there is a sharp radius to prohibit any outbound traffic. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Chair.
if I could too, I know there was comments about 27 comments. The only reason I went over the first 3 is to show that, you know, some of the comments were, you know, something about an engineering seal, so I provided my registration about using the 12th edition when the 11th edition was the only available information at the time. Of course, we did update the study to the 12th edition. Adding a crash analysis, which wasn't required by the county, but I know some of you mentioned that in the last meeting, so we went ahead and added a crash analysis to the report. So again, I'd like to indicate, if you haven't, you know, please, you know, read through that letter or thumb through it, but you can see a response to each one of those comments or questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Can you, excuse me, can I have one more question?
Go ahead.
So what about if you completely close the 13 mile, the driveway? So how many open driveway to Mound? How many do you have right now?
Was the question, how many drives do we have on Mound?
Yes.
1.
One? So how many total numbers of driveway? 1 in 13 and 1 in Mound, right?
Correct.
Correct.
So the people's mostly concerned about the 13 mile one. So if you can close it completely.
I'm not certain that we haven't done the studies to see if how that would affect the traffic. But we did the studies to ensure that the traffic here still operates at a level in Service B and does not create queuing issues.
Okay, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Anyone else? To the petitioner. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I went over the new traffic study, and I was pleased about moving the driveway, changing the driveway on 13 Mile. I think it's going to make it a lot safer. I read all the comments and the responses that you guys gave to those comments, all of them. And I looked at everything. You know, everybody's complaining about safety, everybody's complaining about accidents, but the thing about it, people are driving these cars. And I see how people are driving, and they're not respecting each other drivers. Everybody wants to be first, everybody cutting in and out of traffic. That's what's causing the accidents. As long as people keep disrespecting each other, you're going to have accidents. You're not going to get away with it. I think you did a very good job. I think you went beyond the means of trying to make it work.
Thank you.
And I think, you know, because I looked over everything, and I'm particular about when I look over things. I've driven through the area quite a few times because I go through that area quite a few times, and I watch the traffic when I'm in that area. And I see how people drive. I was coming to a meeting here one night, and they were cutting in and out, cutting in front of people and everything else. I said, that's how accidents happen. Doesn't have anything to do with, you know, whether you got a stop sign here or you got a curve here. Doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just how people are driving in these times.
Sure.
So the motion before us is a motion to approve by Commissioner Benecki, support by Commissioner Hott. Now, we have to have a motion, we have to have a consensus of 5 commissioners to approve or deny this resolution.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask one more question?
Go ahead.
The turnaround on 13 Mile Road, that you have to make a Michigan left onto westbound 13 Mile Road. Excuse me. The drawing shows that that is in line with the entrance off of 13 Mile Road.
Correct. It's positioned to where a vehicle could turn into our site, utilizing that lane just as they can turn around onto 13 Mile, which does not create a line of sight issue based on the distance on 13 Mile from that queuing right there.
Well, it seems just odd to me that if there are two cars there and they would both want to go the way some people drive these days, have you folks considered how that will impact that entrance off of 13 Mile Road?
Robert can speak to it more, but from our perspective, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't create any additional risk than, you know, a current vehicle making that turnaround right now. Instead of doing the turnaround, they're actually spending less time driving forward, but Robert's more qualified.
Yeah, you know, what it does is instead of making a sharp left and then making a sharp right, or even a right into the site driveway, the vehicles could actually, you know, stop and wait and then go straight through. It'd be no different than if you had a site driveway anywhere and you were making a right turn into the site driveway and there was a person going southbound making a left turn into the site driveway. You know, it would be the same type of situation, meaning that, you know, they're not gonna go the same time and have a conflict point at that.
Well, you would hope that they don't go at the same time.
It'd be very similar, like I said, to just a regular site driveway off of a, you know, 3-lane roadway with a southbound left turn lane. If you're going northbound and you're gonna make a right turn into the site driveway, you're also looking at the southbound left to make sure that, you know, you both don't go concurrently.
All right, fair enough.
But
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So getting back to what I was saying, we have to do a vote tonight. And like I said, we need 5 consenting votes to either pass or deny this. We have a motion on the floor to approve this application. So, Madam Secretary, roll call.
Commissioner Bonacki?
Yes.
Commissioner Hawk?
I say no. Yeah, I can,
Do you have to change the motion because it's saying no?
No, we just do the vote.
Okay. Commissioner Ansar?
No. Reason I'm saying no, for the safety and well-being of the neighborhood.
Commissioner Halawadi?
Upon further, all the discussion, I'm gonna say yes at this time.
Commissioner Duze?
I'll vote no based on safety concerns and the 13-mile thoroughfare.
Commissioner Mori, I vote yes. Commissioner Smith?
I vote yes.
4-3.
It's 4-3. So the motion gets automatically denied because we need 5 people to vote, to agree to it.
Is that an automatic?
Hold 1 second. Let me consult with
sorry.
the city attorney. No, we're not having that.
I think it tables, doesn't it?
No, we're not taking it. Okay. We have a vote tonight. We postponed it 2 or 3 times already.
No, what I'm saying is, we need 5 votes.
Right, we don't have it. So if we don't have 5 votes, it gets denied. No. You know.
I believe the rule is it tables, and then if you vote again, right, and it's,
Right,
and then
correct.
it's denied.
Then it's denied. It's denied the second time, then it's a denial.
So we would come back to the next meeting, is that?
I'm gonna read the rule for the
Okay,
commission.
fair enough.
In 1
Thank you.
moment.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I just want to ask one thing. Mr. Hoke, he didn't give a reason for why he changed his vote.
Did we ask him to give a reason?
Yeah, Commissioner Holt, give a reason why you changed your vote.
because of the safety concern.
Okay.
Go ahead.
If I may, under
Yeah.
Rule 8.4, should an item requiring 5 concurring votes not receive the requisite 5 votes, either in favor or against the item, the item is automatically postponed to the next regularly scheduled meeting.
Well, being we have a 4-3 vote, according to our rules, it has to be postponed to the next meeting. Next meeting date will be set. Hold 1 second.
I won't be in on March 9th, so we won't have.
We
we'll have
won't,
6
we won't have,
people instead of
we won't have a
7.
full commission. We have a full commission now, so we won't have one then. So this thing's dragging on and dragging on and dragging on, and I don't see really the end being in sight, because, you know, I've seen they've done what they've tried to do. In the beginning, I asked Mr. Wiegand, I said, you know, he thought about putting something different there. Nobody came up with any ideas. So, I mean, everybody doesn't want it safety, safety, safety. But you gotta look at the drivers. People are driving erratically now. I keep stressing this over and over again. If people drove the way they were supposed to drive, you wouldn't have all these accidents. You wouldn't have all these safety issues. But according to our city attorney, we're gonna postpone it. What's our next postponed date, Mr. Worth? March 9th? Postpone it to March 9th.
I won't be here.
And we're gonna be lacking a commissioner already, so that's gonna affect the vote, so.
Want to go on the 23rd?
23rd? Postpone it to March 23rd.
Okay.
Oh, so, need a vote to postpone it to March 23rd.
Motion to postpone to March 23rd.
Support.
Well, Commissioner Hawk supported, so you guys support that? Yeah. Okay. Roll call.
Oh, postponed, right?
Commissioner Benecchi?
Yeah, to postpone.
Yes,
For
to
postponement?
postpone.
Commissioner Hawk?
Yes, postpone.
Commissioner Ansar?
Yes.
Commissioner Halawadi?
Yes, yes to postpone.
Commissioner Duzay?
Yes, to postpone.
Commissioner Mori votes yes for postponement. Commissioner Smith?
Yes, the postponement to March 23rd, but I want to state one thing. If we don't have enough to make a decision at that particular time, then it will be denied. Okay? Thank you. Have a good evening. Item number 6C.
Item number 6C, site plan for the open storage of ferrous and non-ferrous metals and equipment located on the north side of 8 Mile Road, approximately 304 feet east of MacArthur Boulevard, 87018 8 Mile Road, Section 34, Tony Levin, 8 Mile Warren Properties LLC, Scott Brinkman, Bazel Long, PSP 260008. Thank you.
Is the petitioner here this evening? Can you come up and tell us a little bit about your project, please?
Scott Brinkman of Butzel Long on behalf of 8 Mile Warren Properties LLC, the owner of 8701 East 8 Mile Road. We're here today for site plan approval for open storage. We've got this particular business fronts on 8 Mile. It's got a building for employees approximately in a parking lot of approximately 40 spaces, 2 handicap spaces. And the building is, and the operation is scrap metal for ferrous and non-ferrous scrap metal. The property is screened on all 4 sides between chain link fence that is screened at the front, other industrial use buildings to the west and the east, and a concrete fence to the north. We're here today for 13 small locations within the site for open storage. And we're here to answer any other questions. We've reviewed the planning director's recommendations. We completely agree with the planning director's recommendations. I just want to point out under 2A, one of the buildings is over 30 feet in an M2 zone. 30 feet is the height. That building was built in 1950. The zoning ordinance with the height restriction, I believe, is dated 1964. So we'd be grandfathered in on the height restriction. Other than that, we completely agree with all the planning director's recommendations.
Thank you, sir. Correspondence?
Correspondence, Texas Current Building. This project has no issues with building. Engineering preliminary review of this site indicates no difficulty in development. Police, the Warren Police Department has reviewed the submitted site plan and does not foresee any issues at this time. Comcast, we have no conflicts with this proposal, but we have aerial and underground facilities in the area. DTE, DTE Electric Company has received and reviewed the site plan for open storage of ferrous and non-ferrous metals and equipment and has no objection to the site plan for open storage of ferrous and non-ferrous metals and equipment impacting 8701 8 Mile Road, Section 34, per the site plan provided. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me at 586-783-1978. MCPWO. The Macomb County Public Works Office, MCPWO, has reviewed the site plan for the project referenced above and has determined the project site disturbance is less than 1 acre and will not require a stormwater review from this office. If a no objection letter is required, please forward your request to wesley.jonick@macombgov.org. Thank you.
Thank you. Planning Department's recommendation?
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. The recommendation is as follows. It is recommended that the site plan for open storage of ferrous and non-ferrous metals and equipment be approved with the standard conditions of the Planning Commission, and more specifically, number 1, 5 copies of revised site plans shall be submitted indicating the following. A, add the missing building square footage information and setback dimensions found on the existing site plan sheet C-101 to the open storage site plan sheet C-102. 1B, distances and bearings shall be provided along the perimeter of the parcel on the site plan. 1C, update the site plan to indicate the type of screening to be provided along the eastern existing chain link fence. Planning staff recommends slats to be provided on the chain link fence for screening. 1D, restore any lawn areas along the driveway and approach that have been damaged due to vehicles driving over the curb. Condition number 2, the following variances may need to be obtained from the Zoning Board of Appeals prior to the release of the site plan to the Building Division. And they are A, to retain the existing height, that's building height up to 40 feet. Number 2, to retain the parking lot setback 30 feet from the south property line or 8 Mile Road. The required setback is 50 feet. And C, to retain the chain link fence 25 feet from the front 8 Mile Road property line. If approved, the variances shall be added to the revised site plan. And condition number 3, the performance bond in the amount of 0 shall be posted according to the estimated cost of 0 by the petitioner. However, planning staff believes that the proposed bond amount is too low given the fact that concrete curbing and screening are part of the improvements. A bond in the amount of $1,000 shall be submitted. So with that, Mr. Chair, the recommendation is submitted.
Thank you, Mr. Worth. This is a public hearing. Anybody would like to speak on this item, please come up, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, we'll turn it over to the commission.
Chair, I make a motion to approve.
Support, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Duze. Any discussion?
Are we adding the bond of 1,000?
Yes, the bond, well, the planning commission recommend the bond of 1,000. You want to add that in the discussion? Yeah.
That has to be part of the, just, yeah, okay, make a motion to approve with the bond of $1,000.
Okay.
I
Where'd the petitioner go?
support the change, Mr. Chair.
Where'd the petitioner go? Come on back up.
You're fast.
You're hiding on me here. Okay. Do you understand that we're recommending a $1,000 bond?
Yes, sir. No objection.
No objection? Okay. Okay, so that was a motion by, any other discussion? No? I've been through the scrapyard, not all the way through it, but a few areas in the beginning, and seems like you're doing a pretty good job trying to keep it up, because I know it's hard when you got all kinds of metal and stuff coming in and out. So, last couple times I've been there, I've noticed that they are trying to keep it up and keep it clean and everything. So, that was a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Duze. Roll call.
Commissioner Halawadi?
Yes?
Commissioner Duze?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Ansar?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Hawk?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Mori votes yes. Commissioner Bedanke?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes to approve with releasing the bond. Good luck with your project. Have a good day. Thank you. Item number 6D.
Item number 60, site plan for the open storage of pallets and 2 shipping containers to store sheet metal, metal parts, and metal tubing located on the north side of 10 Mile Road, approximately 191 feet west of Burnett Road, 14219 and 14201, 10 Mile Road, Section 24, Nancy Morrow, American Fan and Blower, Tom Joyce, American Blower Supply, Inc., PSP 260006. Thank you.
Thanks, Madam Secretary. This is a public hearing. Anyone would like to come up and speak on this item, please state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
We didn't go through the correspondence.
Correspondence, sorry.
Do you want to let the petitioner introduce their problem?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to
But
do.
you said public hearing.
Oh, sorry. Petitioner, please state a little bit about what you're trying to do. I'm sorry.
Yes, hi, good evening. My name is Jeffrey Graham. I'm a project architect. I'm representing American Fan and Blower. I'm here with the owner's representative, Tom Joyce. I just want to point out that this building's been there for, these people have been in this building for 30 years. And what they do is they make clean air equipment for industrial uses. What we have is we've got the recommendations from the planning department, and we have no objections with the exception of a few minor ones that we'd like to discuss. Really, going through all of 1A through F is fine. G, 1 and 2 is fine. The only thing we have an issue with is, it's a minor issue, it's 3, is that the planning staff recommends that the entire gravel area located in the front setback of parcel 2, which is be converted over to grass. That area is not being used right now. However, because of the Clean Area Act, the owners are going to make a large expansion, and they own the property to the west. And what they're going to do is they're going to take that parcel and join it to the larger parcel to the west and build an additional facility. This is a new development because of the Clean Air Act requiring a lot of industrial buildings now to add better quality air in their facilities, and this is a great opportunity for American Fan and Blower to considerably increase their business. So they want to hold off on spending any money in that area until they develop the entire lot, which the entire adjacent lot, and they're going to build another building over there. So that's the only reason what we want to do is why not to spend any money on something that's going to be ripped up in a couple of years or 3 years. The other item that they, one of the things that the planning department asked for is a trash dumpster. We actually have a small dumpster right now, and we have no objections to putting a dumpster enclosure for that. So we're complying with that. The other things that we have an issue with is you wanted to combine the two properties or put together a combined driveway or an easement to that driveway. What we'd like to do is put that on hold until, because that property is actually going to be adjoined to the property to the west, which they also own. And then one of the other items that we had we did have an issue with is a recommendation, and it wasn't a requirement, but a recommendation from the engineering department to increase the size of the driveways from their 20 feet to 30 feet. Our question is that we've been using that 20-foot driveway for 30 years, bringing in trucks, and we've never had an issue. There's been no complaints. We're wondering why we need to widen something that works perfectly fine now, is our question. And also put a note onto that, because it is a recommendation, not a requirement. So we'd like to waive that, waive that issue. We'd like the planning department to waive that issue if possible. We do have no problem with the variances. The only variances on this property are the setbacks of the existing building. Keep in mind that this building was probably predates your ordinance, and we're only talking by a few feet. I understand that the only reason why we're not grandfathered in is because across the street on 10 Mile there are residences, and so therefore that triggers the requirement for variances. If there weren't any residences across the street, there would not be a need for us to go for a variance. But since a variance is required, we have no problem. We have no objection to seeking those variances.
Thank you, sir. Correspondence?
Correspondence, Texas Current Engineering. We offer the following comments. Number one, combination of both the parcels is required to conform to site plan. Number two, drive approach width of 30 feet back of curb to back of curb is required on both drive approaches. Police. The Warren Police Department has reviewed the submitted site plan and does not foresee any issues at this time. AT&T. AT&T does not object to the proposed storage plans. We do have facilities serving the building, but they should not be affected. Comcast. We have no conflicts with the proposal, but we have aerial and underground facilities in the area. MCPWO. The Macomb County Public Works Office has reviewed the site plan for the project referenced above and has determined the proposed site disturbance is less than 1 acre and will not require a stormwater review from this office. If a no objection letter is required, please forward your request to wesley.jonick@macombgov.org. Thank you.
Thank you. Planning Department's recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The recommendation is as follows. It is recommended that the site plan for open storage pallets and 2 storage pods be approved with the standard conditions of the Planning Commission, and more specifically, number 1, 5 copies of revised site plans shall be submitted indicating the following. A, add all previously approved variances except the variances approved on November 10th, 1993 to the completed site plans. 1B, the site plan approved by the Planning Commission on December 6th, 1993 scales to a 20-foot wide building setback to the east property line. The site plan provided for the current project indicates a side setback of 18.21. A variance may be required to retain the existing setback. 1C, the site plan indicates a front setback of 48 feet 5 inches along 10 Mile Road, and 50 feet is the minimum required. However, per section 17.02 subsection A2, it states, in an M2 zone where a front yard has been established by the majority of the existing buildings in a block, all buildings hereafter erected or altered shall conform to the building line thus established, provided no building in an M2 zone shall be required setback further than 50 feet. Provided further, however, notwithstanding any provisions to the contrary, in M2 zones, yards fronting on a major thoroughfare as defined by the master thoroughfare plan for the city of Warren, or front yards facing a residential district shall be 50 feet. There are residential homes located across 10 Mile along Melody Road. A variance may be required to retain the existing setback. 1D, update the site data chart indicating the height of the proposed storage containers, bins, and pallets. 1E, the plan shall be updated to indicate the items to be stored in the storage pods. 1F, the plan shall be updated to include slats on the chain link fence located between the southeast corner of the building and the east property line to provide screening from the 10 Mile right-of-way. 1G, the parking spaces included on the site plan do not meet section 4.32 of the zoning ordinance for dimensions. Following changes shall be made. Number 1, the parking spaces along the north property line shall measure 22 feet in length as measured from the north property line. Number 2, G2, the standard parking spaces in front of the building shall be dimensioned 9 feet by 20 feet. And that's measured from that building face. The accessible parking space shall adhere to the ADA requirements for one van size accessible parking space, total width of 16 feet. And number 3 here, the planning staff recommends that the entire gravel area located in the front setback area of parcel 2 and also between the existing chain link fence and the south property line 10 Mile Road be converted to grass and trees. And I'll comment on this one at this point in time. David, show the picture of parcel 2 at this point. Yeah, I think you got it there. So they're not using it, right? Is that what you said? They're not building it. They're using it. That's not permitted and hasn't been permitted for 30 years, needless to say. So it should be grass, the entire location. They shouldn't be parking there. They have no parking spaces indicated on their site plan to be parking there. They need to stay on that concrete driveway that has been there for 30 years. Now, I'm going to comment also on the thought process of using parcel 3 and connecting it, that is to say, combining it with the property to the west. That's what the owner before these people 30 years ago told the Planning Commission then. And that would have been before then, that's what their whole thought process was. And then over 30 years, that area gets to be a gravel mud pit. So I stand by what the what I've asked as, and indicate that that front setback, a 50-foot front setback, needs to be grass and it needs to be landscaped. I'll move on. H, a 2-foot wide, 6-inch high continuous concrete curb shall be required along the south property line, that's 10 Mile Road, abutting the sidewalk and beginning at the east edge of the west driveway, and then go east approximately 55 feet and abutting the existing parking area. And the reason for that is that 30 years ago, they, or before that, that was approved, and it never was put in. The reason is safety. We don't want people to back out onto the sidewalk, and they can drive on the sidewalk quite clearly and easily right there, right now. And that's not what we want. And we've put these types of curbs along sidewalk all over town. A note shall be provided on the site plan stating, all parking spaces shall be paint marked within 6 months of the site plan approval. It's really difficult to see where anyone should park because they haven't been painted in a very long time. That's the reason for that, and that's the reason for asking for within a 6-month period, and that's this summer. Hopefully they can paint mark those existing parking spaces. On J, 1J, both driveways to the site measure only 20 feet in width. The west driveway is used more than the east driveway for ingress and egress purposes. The engineering division recommends that both driveways be widened to 30 feet. This is an industrial type building in use, and that is the reason for 30 feet first, because of the use. And secondly, David, David, I don't know if there's a picture of that driveway, the west driveway a little bit, if we can see it there, but you might be able to see that kind of there. Anyway, they drive over the west radius all the time, because why? Because the driveway is not wide enough to handle the truck traffic that runs in and out of there. So you widen this, minimum 26, but in this case it's industrial. So they want to give them 30. That's for a safety reason also. You don't want them running over the curb and somebody's trying to drive by and it gets a little messy that way. The other driveway, I'm not sure about that one. I'm not going to argue that too much. But this one here certainly needs it. That's the main one that they have access, ingress and egress there. I'll move on to K, the west 30 feet of the concrete curbing is a dropped curb on 10 Mile. And that's on parcel 2. You can see where that dashed line is to your left as we're looking at it, and then right in there. There's no curbing. It's a flat curb. It never got put in. We always ask people with curb lines like that to put them in. Now, if it really happens and that parcel 2 gets combined with that parcel to the west, that curb line actually might be used for, and guess what, it's 30 feet long, as a driveway to the new parcel. All right, so I want them to think about that And if they do it, fine, they've got it dropped. Otherwise, they've got to put the curbing in, that's the law. All right. L, the petitioner shall indicate whether the business requires a trash dumpster on the site. If so, the trash enclosure shall be provided for screening. If the scrap dumpster serves the needs of the business, the Planning Commission may consider waiving the requirement. M, if deemed necessary, the trash enclosure shall be provided on the site with the following note, and that's the trash enclosure measuring a minimum 10 foot by 10 foot shall be constructed of 6 foot high brick embossed poured concrete walls with 45-degree angle cap, have screen gates, and be placed upon a minimum 10 foot by 18 foot concrete pad that provides an 8 foot wide apron. Masonry block shall not be used as a construction material. One other comment, David, if you'll go to the site plan now. Okay, and just a little bit bigger so we can see this, the entire site. Okay, that's, yeah, a little, there you go. Okay, if you look at parcel 2, the east property line of parcel 2, you might notice that the line runs right down the 10 feet I've measured of the driveway. The driveway was 20 feet, but sometime in the past, they didn't do it with approval. They added another 10 feet, and then up and back, you can see where it notches out, and they added even more hard surfacing. So if they put the other parcel to the west with this one, what's going to happen there? Are they going to chop out that piece and put a fence or something like that and reduce the driveway that goes to the back by 30 feet? Or will they split parcel 2 and allow that to remain? I don't know. There's some questions here, but I thought I'd bring them up. Okay, so I'm going to move on with here. This is number 3, and here's where we asked to combine these two, but I don't know if that's going to happen. The two parcels identified by 13-24-380-013, and that is 14219 10 Mile Road, and then 012. There's 013 and 12, and the 012 parcel, parcel 2, I believe, is 14201 10 Mile. Shall be combined into one parcel. The application shall be submitted to the Planning Department requesting the approval of the combination. However, the petitioner may not want to combine the properties. They shall provide a recorded document for ingress, egress between the two properties. This document shall be approved in draft format for form by the city attorney prior to it being recorded at the Macomb County Register of Deeds. Copy of the document shall be provided for the Planning Department, and that's for that concrete strip that goes over the property lines of parcel 2 and parcel 1. I'll go here now with section. Condition 4, following variances may need to be obtained from the Zoning Board of Appeals prior to the release of the site plan to the Building Division, and that would be A, to retain the existing building setback 18.21 feet from the east property line, and B, to retain the existing building setback 48.5 feet from the front of the 10 Mile Road property line. If approved, the variances shall be added to the revised site plan. And I will say this, these variances should be approved. The building's been there all those years, so that shouldn't be a problem. Condition number 5, performance bond, the amount of $60 be posted according to the estimated cost of $2,000. by the petitioner. Note 1, the planning staff believes that the proposed bond amount is too low, given the fact that concrete curbing, parking lot changes, including new hard surfacing, landscaping are part of the improvements. A new estimate shall be provided closer to $33,500, resulting in a bond in the amount of $1,000. Note 2, the Planning Commission currently retains a performance cash bond in the amount of $3,500 as a guarantee for site improvements. The $3,500 cash bond was posted in 1994 by the previous owner. Planning staff recommends releasing the bond as the new owner will have a new bond. And if you'll hold it for a minute. There is something missing here. Oh, wait. You know what? I didn't read condition number 2. I got so excited I went to 3. Condition number 2, 2 copies of landscape plans shall be submitted indicating the following, and that is: A, plant 3 trees centered between the sidewalk and street curb, measuring 2.5-inch caliper in size, and that is 1 tree planted 20 feet from the west property line of parcel 2. And number 2, 2 trees, 1 planted 50 feet from the east edge of the west driveway, and the other planted 50 feet from the west edge relocated of the east driveway. 2B, plant 1 tree setback 15 feet north from the sidewalk and centered between the sign and the edge of the east driveway. And 2C, the entire gravel area located west of the west concrete driveway shall be converted to grass, and 3 trees shall be planted setback 15 feet north of the sidewalk and spaced 35 feet apart. 2 more trees shall be set back 15 feet from the west side driveway and spaced 35 feet from the corner planted tree, and that's all in that muddy area. So with that, Mr. Chair, the recommendation has been submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Worth. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak on this item, please come up and state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. This is the public hearing part. You're the petitioner?
Yes.
We'll call you back up in a minute.
Okay.
Okay? Seeing none, we'll turn it over to the commission.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve with the recommendations of staff.
I support it.
There's a motion by Commissioner Duzay, supported by Mr. Hawk. Discussion.
I'd like to find out from the, if I may, I'd like to find out if you're going to need that scrap dumpster or not.
Sir, yes, we will. It's in constant use, because that's exactly what they do. They bring in raw stainless steel and build ductwork, and for factories, they pre-construct the ductwork, and then there's quite a bit of scrap left over, and then they have that recycled. I do think that something I'd like to say that's somewhat important is that we'd like to postpone this, because upon the client's representative, upon reflection of what Director Ron Worth has said, He has decided that he will indeed enlarge the driveway 30 feet, and he wants to basically have a chance to redraw the drawings. And he also wants to add parking where the gravel, mud, grass is. And then also he's talking about splitting that lot in half, giving half of it to the existing building and then giving the other half to the new building, so that we won't have an issue with the driveway or the parking. And we think that might clean a lot of that stuff up. We were definitely gonna add the concrete curbs along the parking, along the sidewalks, and basically go through and pretty much meet pretty much everything that's on the recommendation. But we'd like to, instead of saying that we're gonna do that, we would like to have the opportunity to redraw the architectural site plan in order to meet full compliance. And as far as the trash dumpster, yes, we do need a trash dumpster. We have a this little one, probably 6 by 4, but we will put that in a dumpster enclosure, cement wall dumpster enclosure.
Well, then, Mr. Chairman, I'll remove my motion to approve. And if somebody, whoever supported it, if you remove your support, then we'll make a motion, I'll make a motion to postpone.
There was a
Per the
motion by
petitioner's request.
Commissioners Duze makes a motion to postpone it.
I support it.
Commissioner Hawks supports it. So we need a roll call.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Okay, it's a timing thing. Question is, how long is it gonna take you to revise the plans? It's usually 2 weeks.
That was the
May not
next
be enough,
question.
I don't know.
Well, I could revise it pretty quickly. My issue is that I won't be in town.
Well, it's either we do it next meeting, the 9th, or the 23rd.
23rd of what, a month of March?
I don't know if that's, what do you think?
Well, if we do the 23rd, if we do the 9th, and my guys represent me, you can walk me through it. Okay, yeah, we'd like to postpone till the 9th.
To the 9th?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. That was the motion by Commissioner Duze, supported by Commissioner Halawadi. Commissioner Hawk, to postpone this to March 9th. Roll call.
Commissioner Duze,
Yes, to postpone.
Commissioner Hawk,
Yes to postpone.
Commissioner Ansar,
Yes to postpone.
Commissioner Halawadi,
Yes, to postpone to March 9th.
Commissioner Mori votes yes to postpone. Commissioner Wanacki,
Yes, to postpone.
Commissioner Smith.
Yes to postpone to March 9th. Good luck, sir. We'll see you on the 9th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
See you next month.
Item number 6E.
Number 6E, site plan for the installation of 2 new guard booths, 6 new crash-rated gate arms, associated entrance exit modifications, and installation of a single pedestrian turnstile located on the northeast and northwest corner of 11 Mile Road and George Merrily Drive, 7111 and 7133 11 Mile Road, Section 16, Greg Combs, General Motors, Ryan DeBono, PEHRC, PSP 260009. Thank you.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here this evening? Good evening, sir. You want to tell us a little bit about your project?
Good evening. Ryan DeBono with HRC, Hubble Roth and Clark, located 555 Hewlett Drive, Bloomfield Hills. We're the engineer representing General Motors for this project. Essentially what the project entails is security improvements to 2 existing vehicle lots located off 11 Mile. The parcels are across the street from each other with George Morelli Drive on either side of George Morelli Drive.
Right.
The project's going to include installing new guard booths on each entrance to the site and improvements to the gate arms out there, because there's been a lot of instances where, there's been thefts of vehicles in that lot. So GM's investing in security to improve the perimeter of each lot. So that would involve 6 crash-rated barriers at the various entrances to the site, as well as screening on the perimeter chain link fence and installation of concrete jersey barriers behind the fence on the property side. There's also going to be a pedestrian turnstile to be installed for access to the building on 7111 11 Mile Road, so the employees can cross George Morelli Drive and enter the building from that way in a safe manner through a turnstile.
Thank you, sir. Correspondence?
Correspondence, Texas Current Building. A building permit / plan review application will be required by the building department for proposed scope of work. Engineering, preliminary review of this site indicates that planning commission approval should be contingent upon the petitioner's compliance with the following conditions. The parcels are separate, but they provide a combined legal description despite having a public right-of-way separating the two parcels. Comcast, we have aerial and underground facilities in the area, but we have no conflicts with the proposal. MCPWO, the Macomb County Public Works Office, MCPWO, has reviewed the site plan for the project referenced above and has determined the proposed site disturbance is less than 1 acre and will not require a stormwater review from this office. Prior to construction, a soil erosion permit will be required from this office. Contact our soil erosion department at 586-469-5327 for more information regarding same. If a no objection letter is required, please forward your request to wesley.jonick@macombgov.org. Thank you.
Thanks, Madam Secretary. Planning Department's recommendation.
It is recommended the site plan for the installation of 2 new guardhouses, 6 crash-rated gate arms, associated entrance/exit modifications, and the installation of a single pedestrian turnstile be approved with the standard conditions of the Planning Commission, and more specifically. Number 1, 5 copies of revised site plan shall be submitted indicating the following. 1A, the site data chart shall be corrected to indicate that the zoning of the north 665 feet of the east 50 feet of the parcel is P parking district. The designation shall be provided on the site plan. And the next B will be removed because it's pretty much a duplicate of C. So it'll be re-lettered. So then B, on January 8th, 2018, the Planning Commission approved plans for the site plan for open storage of containers for vehicle parts. However, this site plan was closed out by the Planning Commission on June 22nd, 2020 because it expired. The new site plan is also for the approval of the vehicle storage because the last project was not completed. The square footage of the vehicle storage area shall be indicated on the site plan. Any other storage items shall also be indicated on the site plan. C, the overall proposed site plan, CS1-001, and the proposed enlarged site plans, CS1-002, CS1-003, shall be provided with bearings and distances along the property lines, dimensions from the property line to the fencing and/or barriers, dimensions for parking and maneuvering lanes, and labels for the different areas indicated on the plan. These 3 plans together shall be deemed the site plan for the project. D, indicate the type of fabric to be provided on the fence. E, provide the square footage of the existing building in the site data chart. F, the front setback along 11 Mile Road shall be updated to 50 feet. G, add the proposed new internal chain link fencing with barbed wire to the enlarged site plan for parcel A, that's CS1-002. H, provide the height of the new east guardhouse on the overall proposed site plan, that's CS1-001. I, label the existing and proposed structures on the enlarged plans, such as the fueling tank, fencing, hydraulic lift, mechanical equipment, as well as the setbacks to the property line. J, indicate the height of the concrete barriers proposed in the southeast corner of parcel B. K, include all distances between the proposed concrete barriers, existing walls, and property lines. L, the letter of intent indicates the north driveway that's Area D, is proposed to be a one-way drive exit. However, the plan, CS1-003, does not indicate this. Provide the dimensions of the one-way driveway. M, provide the dimensions of the maneuvering lanes and the parking spaces on the enlarged Parcel B site plan. N, indicate if trees or utilities will be removed or relocated for the project. O, the overall site data chart shall be updated to include the existing buildings and square footages and the demolition square footage and the proposed square footages as well as total building square footage on Parcel A and Parcel B. On the enlarged site plan for Parcel A and Parcel B, the dimensions for the proposed building shall be provided. P, add the proposed new internal chain link fencing with barbed wire to the enlarged plan for Parcel B, that's CS1-003. Q, provide the height of the new west guardhouse on the overall proposed site plan, CS1-001. R, the total square footage of vehicle storage shall be indicated in the site data chart. The maximum allowed square footage per section 17.02S states that it may not exceed 50% of the gross square floor area of the primary structure, and that it shall not be located any closer than 75 feet to the front property line. S, the site data chart on the overall proposed site plan shall be updated to differentiate between the square footage and number of vehicle storage spaces and the location and number of employee or visitor parking lot areas. The area used as a parking lot shall meet the number of accessible parking spaces per ADA requirements. The plan indicates an industrial use which will require 1 parking space per 1,200 square feet of gross floor area. T, trash enclosure shall be provided on the site with the following notes stating a trash enclosure measuring a minimum 10 feet by 10 feet shall be constructed of 6-foot high brick embossed poured concrete walls with 45-degree angle cap, have screen gates, and be placed upon a minimum 10 feet by 18 feet concrete pad that provides an 8-foot wide apron. Masonry blocks shall not be used as a construction material. Number 2, provide 2 copies of floor plans and elevation plans for the east guardhouse located on Parcel A. Number 3, provide 2 copies of floor plans and elevation plans for the west guardhouse located on Parcel B. Number 4, per the photometric plans provided for the proposed lighting in area A, B, and E, the lighting is above 0.0 at the property lines. Provide shielding to direct the light downward to meet the lighting requirements. Provide 2 copies of updated photometric plans meeting the lighting requirements. And number 5, the petitioner shall provide a recorded document for ingress and egress with the owner of the property abutting to the south of Parcel B, 7133 11 Mile Road, and that's their property, and the property that's abutting is 6909 11 Mile Road. This document shall be approved in draft format for form by the city attorney prior to it being recorded at the Macomb County Register of Deeds. A copy of the document shall be provided to the planning department. Number 6, the following variances may need to be obtained from the Zoning Board of Appeals prior to the release of the site plan to the building division. A, for the proposed gravel surface in area A. B, to exceed the allowable square footage of open storage. C, a variance to locate open storage of vehicles closer than 75 feet to the front setback might be required. And D, Parcel A contains 2 zoning districts. P, parking district, the north 665 feet of the east 50 feet, and the balance of the property is zone M2, medium light industrial district. If vehicle storage is located within the P district, a use variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals may be required. E, to allow new chain link fence with barbed wire. And F, to permit the improvements on Parcel A and Parcel B that would extend to within the front 25-foot setback along George Morelli Drive. These improvements include a new 6-foot high chain link fence with barbed wire and concrete barriers, area A and B, new concrete barriers in area D, and new turnstile, chain link fence, and associated improvements in area E. If approved, the variances shall be added to the revised site plan. And number 7, a performance bond in the amount of $9,300 shall be posted according to the estimated cost of $310,000 by the petitioner. And this ends the recommendation.
Thanks, Ms. Michelle. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak on this item, please come forth and state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, we'll turn over to the commission.
Chair, make a motion to approve.
Support Maury.
There's a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Maury. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
How many cars have you had, were absconded with in this area?
I don't have that exact number, but I know there's multiple occasions where vehicles, you know, basically crash through the fencing to get into the lot, because GM stores a lot of new vehicles in there, and expensive vehicles, so there's been several occasions enough to where they want to move forward with this project.
Well, it's a good idea. When I had my business on 10 Mile Road, Dodge or Stellantis, whatever it was back then, Chrysler used to store vehicles at Hazel Park, and 10 guys would go in there. The first truck would go through the gate, take out the gate. The rest of them followed out. They get on 696 and they're gone.
Yep.
And I imagine the same thing's happening there.
Yeah, the lot's gonna be, I mean, it is, and it will continue to be, manned with security 24/7, 365. So they're gonna be out there in these booths, and it's,
I wish you all the luck in the world. I don't know if this will fix the problem you have, because if somebody wants to steal cars bad enough, they'll figure out a way to get around it.
yeah,
So, good luck. It's a good idea. I hope it works.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Anyone else want any discussion on this? To the petitioner, good evening, sir. On those barriers, can you come back up? Thank you. On those barriers that are 12-foot long, what's connecting those? I've seen some, like when they do construction on the highway, where you got like rods going down through them,
Yep.
and I've seen some of them have cables.
Yep,
Are these gonna have the rods or cables?
they're gonna have the rods, they drop in, they're interlinked,
Right.
and they're actually gonna be tack welded on the top and bottom too, so they'll be all locked together in a continuous line the
Okay.
entire way.
All right. Very good, sir. That's the only question I really had.
Thank you.
That was a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Maury. Roll call.
Commissioner Halawadi.
Most definitely, and good luck.
Commissioner Maury votes yes. Commissioner Ansar.
Yes.
Commissioner Hawk.
Yes.
Commissioner Duze.
Yes.
Commissioner Benacki.
Yes.
Commissioner Smith.
Yes to approve. Good luck with your project, sir. Have a good day. Item number 7, correspondence. Seeing none. Item number 8, old business.
Item number 8, revised site plan for redevelopment of gas station and convenience store located on the southwest corner of 10 Mile and Mount Road, section 29, 5830 10 Mile Road, 5804 10 Mile Road, and 24925 Mount Road, Scene Koza 10 and Mount LLC, Hatim Hanawa BD&E Group, PSP 24007. Minor revision are for an increase in building size and a decrease in building setback. Thank you.
Is the petitioner here this evening? Good evening, sir. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing now?
Good evening. We recently got a site plan approval for a building that was 102 feet, but what triggered us to increase the size of the building was, one, we eliminated the storage mezzanine, so we were proposing a storage mezzanine. We decided to eliminate that to keep everything on a lower level, and the footprint wasn't getting us the proper tenants to come in there, because we're gonna have a hot food user. So we got a hot food user now that's requiring a little more space, so we had the opportunity to increase the size of the building while maintaining the appropriate setbacks.
All right, thank you, sir. Any correspondence?
Correspondence, Texas Current Building. Revised documents are required by the Building Department for review and approval for revisions to the building footprint. Reference Building Permit Plan Review Application BP 25-001228. Engineering. Preliminary review of this site indicates that Planning Commission approval should be contingent upon the petitioner's compliance with the following conditions. Number one, provide a complete and accurate written legal description of the individual parcels, including the parcel identification before and after the parcel combination. Number two, also provide the verification for the completion of the platted easement vacation on the parcel. AT&T. AT&T does not object to this proposal. We have facilities in the area, but they should not be affected. If any conflicts arise, please advise the petitioner to contact me. Comcast. We have aerial and underground facilities in the area, but we have no conflicts with the proposal. DTE. DTE Electric Company has received and reviewed the revised site plan for redevelopment of gas station and convenience store. DTE Electric objects to the revised site plan for redevelopment of gas station and convenience store impacting 5830 10 Mile Road, Section 29 per the site plan provided. Please have petitioner contact DTE Energy at 1-800-330-0178 to discuss the site plans and to get approval of the proposed new 12-foot easement. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me at 586-783-1978. MCPWO. Our office will need to see plans showing where the stormwater from this site will be going. Not sure if the stormwater system from this site will be replaced, but since it is a gas station and a county drain runs close to the northern property line, we'll need to see if the stormwater from this site goes into our county drain. If it does, possibly an oil separator will need to be installed before the stormwater makes it to our county drain. Thank you.
Thank you. Planning Department's recommendation.
It is recommended that the site plan for minor revisions, increasing the building size and reducing the front setback for the redevelopment of the gas station and convenience store be approved with the standard conditions of the Planning Commission, and more specifically. Number one, 5 copies of revised site plan shall be submitted indicating the following. 1A, at parcel number 13-29-228-019 on the site plan above the legal description. 1B, the plan does not indicate outdoor retail sales. If outdoor retail sales are desired, the square footage for the outdoor retail sales items shall be included in the site data chart. Outdoor retail sales are commonly found at gas stations, therefore, if desired and added later, this would require a minor amendment. 1C, update the lighting note as follows. All lighting on the site shall be shielded and not encroach upon abutting properties. The light fixtures, pole, and base shall be no higher than 20 feet as measured from the top of the light fixture to the bottom of the base at ground level. All glare should be eliminated from all light fixtures. Upward directed lighting shall not be permitted. Number 2, provide 2 copies of revised floor plans reflecting the revised building size. Number 3, an application to combine the 3 parcels 13-29-228-006, 13-29-228-019, and -2020 have been submitted to the Planning Department. There is an outstanding item regarding an AT&T comment that shall be addressed before it can be approved. Number 4, a performance surety bond in the amount of $30,000 was posted and approved on October 22nd, 2025. Although the building is proposed to increase slightly, planning staff believes the posted bond should be sufficient and should cover the revised site plan. And this ends the recommendation.
Thanks, Ms. Michelle.
You're welcome.
I need a motion.
Public comment.
It's not a public hearing item,
Oh,
it's all
right.
business.
See, we can carry it.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the revised site plan for redevelopment of gas station and convenience store per the recommendation of staff.
Hold 1 second.
Wrong finger, but okay.
It doesn't say minor amendment. No, it doesn't say minor amendment. That was a
Support.
motion by Commissioner Duzey,
Support Maury.
support by Commissioner Maury. Any discussion? To the petitioner, can you come up, please? So you're adding basically another 600 square feet, so you can have a restaurant section in there?
Correct.
Okay. Do you agree with all the recommendations?
Yes, I do.
Okay. That was a motion by Commissioner Duze, supported by Commissioner Morey. Roll call.
Commissioner Duze?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Mori votes yes. Commissioner Ansar?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Halawadi?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Hawk?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Benacki?
Yes to approve.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes to approve. Good luck with your project, sir.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Item number 9, bond release.
Site plan for outdoor storage area, used car sales area, and canopy addition located on the south side of 10 Mile Road, approximately 170 feet west of Ryan Road, 3930 10 Mile Road, Section 30, City of Warren. Approved on October 13, 2008. Cash bond posted in the amount of $2,500. Site plan expired. Release the bond. Thank
Need a
you.
motion to release the bond?
Chair, I make a motion to release the bond.
I support. Answer.
There's a motion by Commissioner Halawadi, supported by Commissioner Ansar. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 10, new business, seeing none. Item 11, citizen participation. Does anyone like to speak in the audience? You state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none. Item number 12, planning commission business. 12A, planning director's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a few things here because it was a holiday and a few other things happened to me during this time period, so it's a little short. But we did meet with Rajali. He was the first person on the agenda, second time, and discussed the issues and hammered out that approval. Also met with Ken Thompson rather, of Shady Lane off of Warner, and they're working on fixing that all up after we had approvals. What was that, about 2 or 3 years ago, I think. They're in phase 1. They have 2 more phases to go through, but they wanted to make some changes. Sort of widen out some of the actual plans, the parcel plans, make them a little bit wider, a little more room in there, make them longer, and so that you could get some larger homes in there. So we discussed it. There were things other things they had to change. One of the roads would be relocated a little bit, and there's an issue with the open space or drainage on the site. So they've got to figure that out. I mean, I like what they want to do. It's just a matter of will they come back with those changes. We'll see. I was on the task force. I was going to say more like a steering committee, and we reviewed 2 consultants for the Parks and Recreation 5-year master plan, and decided Spalding de Decker was the winner of the contract, and hopefully that all gets approved tomorrow night at City Council. Also had a meeting with some of the Stellantis representatives, in particular Valerie Noel, who is usually the person who comes here representing about 5 people each time. But anyway, the location is Sherwood and 8 Mile, and it's between the railroad track and Sherwood, that strip. And they want to move. They call it a Mopar relocation from north of us, a community, and they've got that whole operation will come in there. It's not a big operation. It's more like opening some doors. I think they had 5 truck wells combined that they're gonna put in, and things of that nature. It's more a retrofit of that site. So, we had a second discussion about that, and so that should be of interest. We're gonna try to make sure we'd look a little bit better while we're at it. Had a meeting with the mayor and other administrative staff. That was actually Michelle and I. It's called the Environmental Sustainability Task Force. And so we talked about a number of things. Issues, but things that we've done and not done so far when it comes to these issues. So frankly, that's about it for me. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to try to answer.
Thank you, Mr. Worth. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Worth? Thank you for the report, Mr. Worth.
Thank you.
Item number 12B, Planning Commission discussion and concerns. We have any discussions or concerns? Item number 13, calendar pending matters, seeing none. Item number 14, need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion by Commissioner Duze,
Chair, I support.
supported by Commissioner Holloway. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Have a good evening, everyone.